At some point, we're going to just have to move on and let it go. I'm at that point right now. The Bronny James conversation, I've come to the conclusion that he's not here to be a mere player. He's being bred to be an owner and to understand the business. And once I wrap my mind and my emotions around that fact, it's been easier for me to tolerate. Because a few years ago, I knew this was coming, and it was annoying me to no end that someone more deserving would lose their spot. A kid who worked out and put in his 10,000 hours and who didn't come from such an affluent atmosphere as a Bronny James will be missing out on the opportunity to play in the NBA. It frustrated me in the beginning. I was annoyed by that. But when you're telling me he's being brought in to be an owner, his father's going to be an owner. At some point, LeBron is going to own a team and pass it to Bronny. And I told y'all in a few videos during the summer, he is better for business, while his peer group is better for the game, for the entertainment value. They have more entertainment value. But he has a magnificent story. We can't take our eyes off of him. We got to see how the story ends. No matter, there are all NBA players that are going to have incredible nights, but we're glued to the Bronny James situation. A lot of y'all want to see if he ever becomes an all-star, or all-NBA, or whatever. You want to see how he pans out as a player. That is the equivalent of watching the owner's son work in the mailroom, and you want to see if he becomes the supervisor of the mailroom. This is bigger than all-NBA, all-star, Hall of Fame. This is ownership. How many young owners do you see? How many young black owners do you see? Michael Jordan didn't pass his team to his sons. LeBron is going to pass that team to Bronny. He's going to be the genie bus, because that's the only comparison I could think of. The genie bus of his generation. His father's going to own a lit team, and he's going to take over and keep them lit. But before you could get him into ownership mode, he has to start out at the bottom, the player. This is the mailroom. Becoming an NBA player is the equivalent of working in the mailroom. He's going to work his way up in business. I know a lot of y'all y'all are thinking, oh, he's a player. No, he's not going to be one of these typical players who plays, then has a podcast, and that's it. No, he's going to play and then he's going to ascend to ownership. He's going to run a team. He's going to run his father's team or whatever company. He's here to run some shit. We need kids to get to the other side. We got enough ball players. We got enough all-stars. We got enough all-NBAs. We got hundreds of them, thousands of them. We don't have enough owners. We don't have enough business runners. We don't have enough CEOs. If you're telling me him getting this spot is the stepping stone to get him closer to ownership in the end, I'm all for it. Because he's not a mere player. I'm not worried about his stat line. Because he's going to understand the business enough to know how to negotiate with players for real. He's going to see what type of contracts they really deserve versus what they want. How hard they're really working. What their lifestyle is really like. It's a traditional process. That's all it is. It's a traditional process. The owner's son working his way up to running the business. It's been done in so many other industries. But now it's being done in basketball. At least in front of us. Jeannie Buss was done more so behind the scene, and then she became a figure. Now, we need to have an understanding that this is what the process is. It's not about him being an all-star. His dad has accomplished everything. He's won 4 championships without the triangle offense. I want you to let that sit in your spirit. Because 16 championships have been won with the triangle. 15 or 16. No, 16, I think. The six with the Bulls. The what? The five with the Lakers. And then the other 4 that was used by Steve Kerr He took the triangle to Golden State and won another 4. So that's 15 championships won with the triangle. Michael Jordan doesn't win that many championships without the triangle. Kobe Bryant doesn't win that many championships. Shaq doesn't win that many championships. Big Shot Bob doesn't win that many championships. Steph Curry doesn't win his championships without the triangle. 15 championships with the triangle. LeBron has won 4 without the triangle. We still don't know what the coach's philosophies were. He's won them with his own intellect. His own basketball IQ, his own abilities. He's not a shooter. He scored over 40,000 points. He has over 11,000 rebounds and 11,000 assists. Michael Jordan is still Mike Jinks. It's always a bad night when you got to guard him and see him on the court. 23 was different. We know that. But we got to give Bron the credit for what he's done. They can both coexist. And when your dad has accomplished what he has accomplished, also in social media, and then in the business world, that James name is worth billions to all industries. You don't want LeBron James to go somewhere else and take that with him, do you? You don't want the James name to meander off into marketing and adverts. No, you want it connected to the NBA. Look, Bronny James has one of the greatest stories out right now. We want to see how he does. Whether he succeeds or fails, we want to see it. We want to watch it. It's the greatest, one of the greatest reality shows in the NBA. We want to see how this works out. But we know one thing for sure, two things for certain, that he's going to get the torch passed to him and he's going to run a team. But he has to learn the business from the bottom to the top before LeBron gives him the keys to the palace. And Bronny's on pace to end up exactly where I'm saying he's going to end up, as an owner. Every kid you see in the NBA is the first generation of wealth for their family. They're the stepping stone and the cornerstone for a lot of their family success. What if your dad has taken care of all that and you're the next generation after the cornerstone has been established in such a magnificent fashion, by the way? Now you go into the family business. You're going a step further. Ownership for Bronny is what's next. Y'all keep thinking and looking. He don't look like a ball player, but he's good for business. Look at how he handles himself with the media. Look at how professional he looks. He looks comfortable because he was raised in that atmosphere. It's not new to him. The business isn't new to him. The conversations, the relationships, they all know who he is. He's not sneaking up on anybody. He is being bred for the business of basketball, for the betterment of the business of basketball. For the longevity, they have to start finding people who are young that they can shape and mold, because all these people in position aren't going to live forever. But the NBA has to continue to exist despite all of us having to fade away into darkness at some point. Bronny is being bred to be an owner. He don't have to be the best NBA player. He don't have to talk about what his career was like, because he isn't done. His career begins in business. And there has to be an understanding with that. He's not going to be Derrick Rose. He's not going to be Kyrie. He's not going to be Steph. But he can be that in business. Everybody that gets to the NBA isn't always going to flourish in the NBA. And everybody that's in the NBA, sometimes that's the thing that gets you to the thing. Shout out to Bronny, man. Like, once I understood, okay, your dad's going to be an owner, you're okay. He looks like he's ready for the business side. He's already got brand deals. He's better for business than his peer group. He's handling all of this well. And listen, if he ends up becoming an all-star once, oh my, it's over. He only got to do it one time. And when his peer group is all surrounding the NBA, with his father's knowledge, he's going to have enough information to become an all-star at least once in his career. He'll get that. That'll validate him as an NBA player, becoming an all-star without his dad around. But he has enough information. Information is very important. In the NBA, everybody can run, jump, shoot, but everybody don't have that IQ. Everybody don't have all the information. There's some things that technology can't grasp, at least right now. Because the stuff that LeBron knows, he's teaching it. Listen, it is what it is. He wasn't bred like some kids. You got kids who run companies who didn't do well in college or didn't finish college, but their father brought them into the business and they learned the business and ascended to CEO status. And it happens. And it will continue to happen. We all want that for our sons. We all want that for our daughters. We all want that for our kids. We want them to have some type of nepotism to take advantage of. These are good problems, by the way. I know a lot of us are making it seem like these are good problems. There's some worse problems that you can have with a young child in his age group. But when you're speaking of nepotism and him being it, nigga, these are good problems. Is what? Neppy? Oh, he don't deserve to be in the NBA. He doesn't deserve to. Those are good problems. Very good problems. Magnificent problems to have. Compared to the other problems that you could have. But he's being bred and he's aware of it. He's aware of his situation. He's aware of what he's here for. That's why he's not saying a lot of the things that he's taking it with a grain of salt. And I'm watching his body language. You can tell when someone is here for a different purpose. They're not getting attached to, he's more than just a basketball player. Just his dad is so good at it that he can take advantage of this as a stepping stone to get where he's supposed to be as an executive. He's going to be an executive. He's going to run his dad's company. He's going to run whatever family business they have, and he's going to be part owner and run his dad's team. At some point, that's the dream. He knows what his mission is. His mission is not to be in the NBA, to be a star and try to outshine his dad. Most of these young NBA players, they want to prove that they're better than their dads. He don't have that. You can tell by the way he moves, he's here for the business of it. To learn the business, to develop the relationships, to flourish in business. I've seen that before. I've seen that demeanor before. I've met people like him in that position before. They don't need it like you need it. They're not here for the same situation and reasons for you like that you're there. He's the next generation of super rich. So his motivation is different than a kid whose first time, who's new money. He's been rich his whole life. He's been seeing marble floors, 10,000 square feet, beautiful views his whole life. That's his normal. Subconsciously, he don't know no other life. His habits are to survive and remain there. He's not coming from the hood or jumping from the suburbs to affluence at that level. He's already had it at the height. His dad is $40 million off a ring. What are we talking about? His dad makes money like it's nothing. He sees it. He's aware of it. He knows how to. He getting to the bag. He's getting to the business. He don't have to be super good as a ball player. He just has to be good enough to make sure the business runs. That's it. It's just, don't take it too serious. Because I love what I see. And it took me a while to understand. That's what I would want for my son. I put the hard work in, lay the groundwork in. Come on, boy, moonwalk on these lit courts. Moonwalk on these lit bricks I done laid for you, son. What you talking about? Moonwalk, Billie Jean on this motherfucker. What you talking about? The streets are lit and paved with gold because of me. Enjoy it. Don't feel guilty for it. Enjoy every second of it. That's what I work for you to enjoy it. Let them be mad. They'll understand it when you become owner and you be like, this is what it was all about. And put the kid. Listen, a pawn has to become, everybody can't stay an employee forever. We got to own something. To show other people that ownership is pot. That's the end game. Not just the employee-player relationships, but ownership relationships, creating a new normal. For some people, waking up in the morning, owning some shit and living that life and living with the life insurance and the trust and having hundreds of millions, that's their normal. You talking like, redefine what your normal is before you start talking about this ain't right. Yeah, it ain't right from our perspective. Working from our perspective, no, it's not right going from poor to rich for the first time. But if you already super rich and you want to go to super ownership rich, you want to go to wealthy and generational wealth, that's where you have to start, right there on the path to ownership. You don't have to start from go. You know what I mean? Like, you can start from Baltic Avenue or something. Like, you start closer. Get the game rolling. You done went around a few times over. You understand the game by now. But a lot of us are looking at it as ball playing is the end game. Becoming an NBA player, for some people, that's their end game. That's not his end game. That's the beginning. That's him picking up the dice going, 12, 2 6s, He playing Monopoly different. And we got to respect that when somebody's on. We got to respect that because that's what we want for our kids. That's what you want for your household. And once I started to understand, I was like, man, listen. Because I started looking at it different because he reminds me of my son. And LeBron is doing exactly what I would do. This is what you want for your kids. This is what you work for. This is why you spend nights in the gym. This is why you don't go to parties and you sack. Because you want your kids to have an easier road to get further along than you were. Listen. It is how it's supposed to be. This ain't the end game for him. He don't have to be all NBA to validate who he's going to be the owner. He going to run some shit. He got Rich Paul. He got his dad's sports agency. What are we being a ball player is just the tip of the, ain't even close to the tip of the iceberg. There's so many layers to this. Come on, man. There's no limit to what this kid could be as an executive. It's what it is, man. But just look at the situation a little differently is what I'm saying. Think about it from a different perspective, and then you'll start to understand, like, oh, okay, I get it. It's justified. Because this being a player, an NBA player, isn't the end game for him. It's the beginning for him. We've never seen someone coming and it be the beginning for him. Steph Curry becoming an NBA ball player was the beginning, was the ending for him. That was his ending. Of course, he flourished off of it, but will he become an owner? Is that his mission? We don't know. His son isn't, like, his kids aren't close to the NBA as far as working, so we don't know what the agenda is, but we know what the agenda is for Bronny. Deep down inside, we all knew that he was going to be in the NBA or part of the NBA somehow. Just saying. Just look at it from a different perspective and tell me what you think. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Somebody got to do it. Everybody, being an NBA player can't be everybody's end game. Somebody has to show that it can be just that can be your first step. And the end game can be anything. This isn't your first time being rich. You were born into it. I mean, super rich. There's a difference between middle class kids and then they take a step up to another level of affluence. But he can't go no higher than this super rich that he is. Ownership is the next level. And maintaining ownership and maintaining this status is the next step. There's levels to this, and they're playing at the highest level. Or not the highest level, but close enough to it. There's some families that are way above, way past them. But listen, they're close. They're gaining. They're gaining. You know what I mean? But we'll see, man. Tell me what you think in the comment section. It just takes a little more mature. I was frustrated too in the beginning. I ain't gonna even hold you. I was a little annoyed too. But then when you think about the big picture and you start to understand how much is in position business wise for this kid, and the investments the investment team that his dad has, and the sports management company, the relationships with Rock Nation, and all these other things. Come on now. It's big business, baby. It's big business. It's big business, man. Tell me what you think in the comment section, man. I'ma holler at y'all, man. Billionaires are gonna do what billionaires are gonna do. I'm out of here. Peace.